Hey guys. Okay, so as you work through this project, you're actually going to be creating an economic policy. And to figure out what kind of economic policy you have or that you want to have, you first need to start with your goals. What do you want your economy to do for your people and for your nation and, for your businesses? And so first I want to talk about the overarching themes of economic goals, the ones that all countries look at. And then they prioritize which ones are most important, because dictating or prioritizing the goals on what are most important, that's really what's going to tell you which direction you should go. And you have to make sure that your economic goals do not contradict each other, because some of them can most definitely contradict each other. So let's start. So we have economic freedom. Now, what that means is basically you have freedom in everything that you do in the economy. You have freedom in what you buy, what you sell, businesses you frequent, businesses you open, where you work, what job you have within a company, how much education you have and how much money you make, and that is economic freedom. Now, here's the crazy thing. Your definition of economic freedom will actually, your interpretation better, will actually tell you more. You have to look more in depth. So there are actually two arguments regarding economic freedom. So one is that government intervention restricts economic freedom, restricts people from making choices, while the other side will argue that government policies and government intervention will actually provide freedom to those who otherwise would not have the freedom to take advantage of opportunities that they otherwise would not have access to. The second goal that you want to look at is economic efficiency. Now, economic efficiency is using all of the available resources in your economy, whether it's natural resources or capital resources or human resources, and using all of those resources to their greatest potential. This is very important because due to economic scarcity, efficiency is key to decision making and resource allocation. Third one, three. That is equity, economic equity. Now, I have to be clear, economic equity is not the same as economic equality. Economic equity means that you have the equality of opportunity. You have the same opportunities, but you may not have the same or equal results. So equity of results, economic equity means you have equal opportunity. Does not mean you have equal results. So it's really hard to pin this down. It's really hard to figure out what is fair and what is not fair, because that is really a personal decision, especially when you're talking about the distribution of income, the distribution of wealth. When you're talking about people's money, what is fair and what is not fair often changes than if you're talking about a Monopoly game or you're talking about, soccer game. Well, to some people, maybe not, but economic equity is a tough one. It's a biggie. Fourth goal, we've got economic security. So this is going to be protection against economic risks. Now, there are two different types of protection. You've got personal protection and government protection. This is really bothering me. Government protection, these are things like workman's comp, unemployment benefits, pension plans like Social Security. Personal protection will be things like personal insurance plans, medical insurance, auto insurance, dental insurance, the whole nine. Savings accounts, retirement accounts, anything that's going to protect you from any potential economic failure that may or may not be out of your control. That's economic security. And you're going to have to decide how much your government is going to get involved, how much they're going to provide as public goods like workman's comp and unemployment benefits and whatnot. Okay, your fifth goal, You have economic stability. Now, what this means in a mixed market economy, which is what the US is and basically what the academy economy is going to be, you are shooting for full employment, which, just to be clear, does not mean that every single person over the age of 16 who can work does work. That does not mean 100%. Full employment means about approximately average shoot for 95%. 95% of your workforce is employed. That's full employment. And basically that's because, you know how we talked about, there's going to be structural and frictional unemployment due to mergers and acquisitions, due to people just wanting to change jobs for whatever reason. There's going to be a natural attrition, and so at one given point, not everyone's going to be employed. Not ever. So we're full employment shoot for 95%. The other thing, the other side of economic stability is going to be low or no inflation. No inflation is almost impossible in a global economy. I'm just going to put that out there. But low inflation is really the goal. So you want to keep inflation at or below 3% increase. So what that means is basically you do not want your prices to increase more than 3% from year to year. Now in the US, we use federal intervention through monetary and fiscal policy to try and influence the economy, to promote economic stability of full employment around 95% and inflation around 3% growth. You need to decide whether or not you want to actually use government intervention to promote that kind of economic stability as well. Now, the last goal is going to be economic growth. Now, pretty much every country is going to say, yes, this is a priority. We want to grow our economy. I don't think there's a single country out there that says, you know what, no, I'm good. We don't need to grow our economy. We're good right where we're at. We don't need to compete with the rest of the world or really at all. You know, it's cool. No, nobody says that. Nobody does. Because economic growth means that you are increasing productive capacity. It means you're increasing your standard of living. You're increasing your mortality, or I always get this mixed up. Mortality rate. Basically, people live longer. People live happier. People have more stuff. So economic growth is a biggie. And you just need to recognize how you need to look at how you're actually going to get your economic policy to promote growth. All right. Good luck. See you next time.